Hey, what's going on guys, and welcome back. Today's video is going to be going over 10 upcoming Monster Taming games, which will consist of a mix of less spoken about games and some of the most popular games in the genre as of right now. This is a very special video because to assist me in this endeavor, I have brought forth a friend whom has actually made an appearance on this channel before, that being Clemmy, aka Best Indie Games on YouTube.
Hey, what's going on guys? This is Clement from the channel Best Indie Games, where it's pretty self-explanatory what I do, and I'm a huge fan of Monster Taming Games just like Ed. I love how indie developers are continuing to experiment with this genre even while we have a handful of colossal franchises in the space, so let's take a look at some that I'm looking forward to.
After you're done on this video, we did do a sister video to this over on his channel, so definitely please make sure to check it out. It will be linked in the description. With that said, let's dive right in. So these won't be in any particular order, but we will be flipping between some more hidden monster taming gems and some that have been making shockwaves through the community as well. First up, we have a much less known title, that being Gorit, a monster taming and puzzle game featuring real-time combat. In the region of Durdam, danger lurks. You must catch, train, and battle with the fascinating creatures known as Gorits. Explore dungeons, solve puzzles, evolve your Gorit, and fight powerful enemies as well. This is one of those games that really has me interested, to be honest, because it seems almost like a monster taming game with a 3D Zelda-like element on the side with regards to its dungeons, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. They do have a demo that's out, and I will leave their Twitter linked in the description so you can get more information on the game as well.
Grimmlins was announced earlier this year, being a 3D monster taming title with real-time combat. It does appear to have somewhat of an open world, where you're even able to ride certain gremlins as mounts, both to be used in combat as well as in the overworld exploration. Combat does allow for multiple creatures to be in battle all at the same time, where you're able to control the group of them in directing their attacks, but it does look to be a little chaotic, which does make me curious about the system. Monster designs are alright, but I'm not totally sold on the environments, but it does look like an ambitious title worth keeping an eye on.
A much anticipated title making its way to the forefront this December is Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX, which is essentially a remaster for the original titles, which originally debuted back in the 90s. Monster Rancher, or Monster Farm as it's referred to in Japanese, if you don't know, is a monster raising and battling sort of VPET simulator with a ton of fun minigames to partake in, a vast combination system by which you can combine your monsters into new species, of course a battling system, and the originals had a unique system whereby you can insert various CDs into your PS1 and it would create a unique monster for you to utilize in combat or otherwise. This system has been replaced with some sort of database which will include tons of different songs for you to choose from, but it should still be in the same vein as the originals. If you do want more information regarding this system, you can check out this video in which we go much more into depth on how the original system worked and how it'll change and what these changes may imply. Definitely excited to experience this one in December, so stay tuned.
A title that has undergone somewhat of a transformation after its Kickstarter campaign is Final Stardust, changing things up from a more classic Pokemon-style battle interface to one more closely resembling Dragon Warrior monsters or Shin Megami Tensei, although it does retain its pixel art style, which is pretty sweet. Monsters here are named Planos, or Planet Monsters, where there are 5 types here: Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and Dark, which, broadly speaking, are a mix of elemental types that we know and love, such as water and ice for Mercury and fire for Mars. Our hero is chasing down his genius, evil twin brother, who wants to destroy the world, gathering a party of creatures to help along the way. The developer looks to be making good progress, although we still do not have a release date, but it's certainly one to watch.
Amber Roots is an interesting solo dev project because it aims to combine monster raising with more sort of large world RPG elements. The game will feature turn-based combat, and you'll have a ranch where you can raise your monsters and sort of play mini-games with them and do stuff like that. The developer states that his main inspirations for the game include other titles such as Stardew Valley, Monster Rancher, Old School Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest. The main focal point of this game's design is player choice, allowing the player to decide what they want to spend their time doing. And honestly, I think that these types of games that like to mesh the monster raising with monster battling elements together can be fun, especially when they let you choose how much adventuring versus ranching you want to do. The game is still in development, but I've got to say the pixel art is looking absolutely beautiful, and I look forward to continuing to see this game grow.
Monster Crown is a title that should be familiar to monster taming fans since it has been in early access for just over a year, and the exciting news is that the developers have confirmed a 1.0 release date in October. It's a pixel art title that looks great, where the main feature is a true crossbreeding system where children do take on the physical characteristics of the parents, with some impressive alternate evolution paths through the use of items, which makes it pretty interesting. This developer has been pretty consistent in early access, putting out patches big and small at a very frequent rate, so it's always nice when developers keep players in the know during the early access process. So if you've been holding out for the full release, you will be able to play this very soon.
Some of you might be familiar with the title Disc Creatures, which is a monster taming RPG reminiscent of the Game Boy Color era of Pokemon. In this game, you can travel around a vast world where humans live alongside these strange, mysterious creatures, each with their own personalities, abilities, and moral codes. This game specifically is actually already available on Steam and is highly regarded as one of the best Mon games of 2019. That said, the game is getting a sequel in the form of Disc Creatures World, which will feature a step up in graphics from the old school Game Boy Color aesthetic to a style more similar to that seen within the Game Boy Advance era, a new world to explore and new monsters to collect. This is another early development title that we haven't really seen a whole lot of public footage for, but I am very intrigued by it and really looking forward to getting my hands on it. Once we do get a release date, I'd love to sort of do a playthrough of the original one with you guys leading up to the release of the sequel.
Holy moly! If you have somehow not seen this, things are about to take a turn for the very weird with Palworld, an open-world monster taming crafting title from Japanese developer Pocket Pair. While it starts off friendly enough, with the creatures helping in construction, farming, generating electricity, and providing wool, the action in the game has you fighting alongside the monsters, but you are firing guns. And then the trailer shows that you can use the creatures as shields, enslave them in sweatshops, outright hunt and shoot these creatures, or to use an electric type to help in fishing by electrocuting the other creatures in the water, looking so insane and out of left field, which makes it of interest.
Anyone who's been subscribed to my channel for any amount of time will know that I'm a huge fan of Nexomon and its sequel Nexomon Extinction. That said, Nexomon 1 is coming to consoles, which include PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. If you don't know by now, Nexomon is a Pokemon-like monster taming RPG that focuses on a story-driven narrative fueled by fun and quirky characters, a diverse and rich world to explore, over 300 unique Nexomon, each of which vary in rarity, and honestly is a must-play for any fan of monster taming or any Pokemon fan, really. This new release will be a port of the original game, which will include essentially exactly what the Steam version has, but if you've never owned it on Steam because you don't have a PC and want to be able to continue your Nexomon journey after beating Extinction, or if you just want to play the first one in preparation for your plan to play Extinction, definitely keep your eye out on this one. I'm personally super excited to make tons of Nexomon 1 content for you guys, and tons of content about the game that Clemmy's about to mention next.
And of course, the long in development Coromon is a title that I've been looking forward to, where it looks to be the what-if scenario if Pokemon decided to continue using pixel art rather than go in the 3D direction. I'm a noted fan of pixel art, so of course the look is one of interest, but the designs of the creatures revealed so far in demos and on the wiki are pretty impressive. It does look like quite the classic monster taming experience, only with modern high-bit pixel art and polish, so here's hoping 2022 will finally be the year of release.
And there you have it, guys. Those were 10 monster taming games to look forward to out of the many that we have coming. The goal with this video was to try to avoid mentioning too many games that we did in our first collab back in, I believe it was January. And the ones that we did mention again, like Coromon, for example, have had updated information, like how Coromon now has a release window. That said, we did do a sister video to this one on Clement's channel, so please, if you did enjoy this one, go check it out and tell him that I sent you. If you are a fan of the monster taming genre, definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all things that includes. You can check out my Twitter as well as my Discord, and I just want to say special thanks to our patrons, especially StealCase, our mythical backer. Have a good day, everyone. Peace.